Okay, this is an important follow-up to a video that I posted recently, and I'll add a link in the description below to this previous presentation that I'm going to step through very quickly here so that we can compare it to what we're going to do next in this video. Okay, so if you've seen the previous video, it involved the following. It involved the Hummer principle. And so this is where you randomly cut the cards and then flip the top two, randomly cut the cards, flip the top two, and so forth. Okay, so it's a very destructive and crazy way of mixing cards, but in the end, we are able to accomplish something very surprising. And so the written prediction I pulled out for that was the following. Only even and odd value cards enjoy walking hand in hand. And so what you found out there was this prediction referred to the fact that cards that were facing the same way as each other, like these are both facing up, one would have to be an even value card, like 10 is even, and one would have to be odd, like the king, which is a 13. Let's see, what else? Right here, same thing. Facing up, facing the same way, they're walking hand in hand. One's even, one's odd. Let's check out some of the others. Here's another one, an even value card and an odd value card. Now it looks like the others, this one, we have a pair of cards facing the same way as each other, walking hand in hand. So it must be the case that one is even and one is odd, and they are. Okay, so this is essentially the conclusion that you saw in that previous video. And then it was also important when the two cards were not facing the same way as each other, that meant they had to have the same card value parity, meaning they were either both even, like right here, these are both 12s, or they were both odd. Like right here we have a 13 and 11 for a jack. Those are both odd here. 13 and 11 for a jack. These are not facing the same way, so it must be that this is even as well. So queen is a 12. So that's a quick look at what we did in the previous video. So the bottom line was this, that if two cards were facing the same way, like they might walking down the street, one would have to be an even value card and the other one an odd. Well, the question is it possible to have a routine where the cards are walking hand in hand, but they're both even valued, or they're both odd valued? In other words, they have the same card parity. They're either both even or both odd. Okay? So is there a way to rework that routine so that happens instead? Instead of opposites, even and odd, facing the same way, you have the same parity of cards facing the same way. So both even, like in the case here, or maybe both odd, as in the case of 11 for both of those. So we're going to look at that, and I'm going to simplify it quite a bit. So instead of focusing on even and odd, which can be a little confusing for some people, we're going to focus on red and black. And I think it'll just make it easier to see what's going on here. Okay? So we're going to be doing what the other performance didn't do. It did the exact opposite of this, which is fine because that was the promise, that was the narrative. But suppose we want cards at the end facing the same way as each other when they're both the same color. Like two red cards will face the same way as each other. Two black cards will face the same way as each other, whereas a red and a black will not face the same way. Okay, so we're going to accomplish that here. And we're going to do it by pointing out a brand new result involving the Hummer principle that I've recently discovered. And I'm sharing now with you in this video. Okay, so we're going to begin very similarly to what we did in that previous video, but this time we'll have just red cards and then we'll have black instead of even valued and odd valued. Okay, so if you remember, what I had you do was randomly choose to flip either one face down. Maybe you choose that one. we did a rosette shuffle. Okay. Now, depending on how well that turns out, you as the spectator may not be all that satisfied with the mixing. Yeah, that looks like pretty bad mixing there. Wow, how did we accomplish that? So what we did there, and we should do here, is we just did a full table wash. Okay, and so this is really going to scramble. Whoop, cards are going off. Scramble the cards well. Now the key is don't flip over any of these. Just mix in the up-facing black cards with the down-facing red cards really well. Now, for the very reason that you're seeing here, it wasn't a bad idea to use even and odd value cards as our kind of dichotomous characteristic, because then it wasn't as obvious that, okay, up-facing cards are black, all of the down-facing cards are red. Okay, so you kind of hide that a little bit. But considering what we're going to do now, that doesn't even matter, because what we're going to do is do the classic down, flip, down, flip, down, flip, down, flip, down, flip, flip, down, flip, down, flip. Okay. So if you're not satisfied with how well the mixed the cards are now, we're going to give you all the chances in the world to mix these thoroughly. So I offer a pair to you. We can leave as is and set on the table, or flip. You want to flip? Okay. What about here? Leave or flip? Flip. Okay. What about these two? Leave. What about these two? Leave. What about these two? Flip. Okay. Flip. Leave. Flip. Okay. So we did it for 2 cards, just like we did in the previous video. Let's do it for 4. You want leave or flip? Flip. Leave. Flip. Flip. Okay, wow, we are really mixing up these cards well here. So let me just show you that we're probably in a better place than we were before. Okay. Okay, so we have a good mixture of red cards and black cards facing up and down. Okay. If you want to do any more of these, we can. Oh, in fact, I even showed you this. I said you can put out even sets of cards, like 2, 4, 6, whatever. And then you can have the spectator kind of tell you how to randomly stack and flip these. So they can stack those in any order and flip them however they like. Okay, they really, really can. So anyone that thinks that the cards are now in a certain arrangement, they can't possibly be. For the simple reason that the spectator is deciding on their own how things are done. So there's no way as the performer I could know ahead of time the choices that you would make. Okay, so look at this mess here. Okay, now to kind of find the order in the chaos, what we did in our previous video is I pointed out that what's called the Hummer relation. And I guess I should also mention, as I did in the previous video, I will add a link in the description below to the Hummer principle, which is what we're using here, and going beyond the Hummer principle and combining it with brand new ideas on the Absolute Math Magic channel. Okay, so what we took advantage of in the last video is the fact that if you view this as a mirrored packet in the sense of mirrored structures as taught on the Absolute Math Magic channel, then you can mix this further because of the stay stack principle. Well, guess what? If we view this as a 2-cycle right from the start, and then if we deal out the top 8 cards into different piles, and then the next set of 8 cards into those same piles, we will have accomplished what we wanted. Namely, cards will be facing the same way as long as they are the same color. Cards that are not the same color will be facing different ways. Okay, so a reminder, what's a 2-cycle? Well, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so 2-cycle says that if we divide the packet in half, so we have 8 cards in each, then this card here is, quote, related to that one in the way that we'll show in just a moment. This one is related to that one. The third one's looking good, right? Because we said if the cards both face the same way, they need to be of the same color, and these are. Okay, and then we have these two related, these two, and so forth. Okay, so just by quick inspection, it's looking pretty good that some of these are going to be fine. Now, we'll show you that everything's perfect, but if you notice, the Jack and the King are third from the bottom of their respective cycles. They're both facing up. They better be the same color. They are. They're both red. Come one more over. These are in the second to last position within their respective cycles. They're both face up. They better both be the same color. They are. They're both black. Okay, so that's what we're going to show here. So if we view this as a two-cycle instead of a mirrored structure, which is what we did in the previous video, we can simply get to the conclusion that we want by dealing out the cards into 8 piles, like this, and then deal out the next set of 8 on top of those. 1, 2. So it really is just bringing the two cycles in this two-cycle in alignment. Okay, and so what I'm claiming here, which is something you might rather have happen than what I showed you in the previous video, I'm claiming that if two cards, like these two cards, are both facing down, they will be guaranteed of the same color. Check that out. They're both red. Okay. Here we can see that that's true already. They're both facing up. They're both red. These two are both facing up. They're both black. These two are facing up the same way, black. Now the others are facing different ways from each other. This one's facing down, this one's facing up. Well, from what I just said, these two are guaranteed to be of different colors. One's black, one's red. These are facing different ways. These are guaranteed to be of different colors, and they are. Facing different ways. These are guaranteed to be of opposite colors here, red and black. And finally, these are facing different ways than each other, so this one better be red, and it is indeed. Okay, so I just wanted to point out that what we did in the previous video, you can do here as well, but after the Hummer Shuffle, the difference is you view that packet as a two-cycle and then deal out like this. Whereas in the previous video, we viewed it as a mirrored packet and used the Klondike Shuffle. You remember the Klondike Shuffle to pull off pairs to the table. And then those satisfied the relation that we set up there. Okay? So having these cards matching color when they're pointed the same way probably is going to be more intuitive and more surprising for you as the performer and for most of the spectators. Okay. Now, if you understand the Hummer principle really well, both the last video and this video should be equally strong in terms of what it accomplished, despite all of the random choices made by you, the spectator. Okay, so I wanted to do this follow-up video to show you that there's a quick way to essentially reverse the Hummer relation. And so here, the goal was to create pairs where if the cards within a pair face the same direction, they are also of the same color. If they face opposite directions to each other, then they're of opposite color. Okay, and so I just think that's clearer for most people to grasp and help you understand what's going on here. So anyway, this is just a follow-up video to complement the previous one that I've linked in the description below. And I will also provide a link to the entire series devoted to what I call the Hummer principle and beyond, okay? Because we look at some more advanced ideas at the end of that series. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.